later on. So today we're going to talk about social media and the impact it has in the travel and tourism industry. Well, when we talk about evolution to new media, what happened when we first got a website going? And probably in maybe 1995, 96, 97, we got all our websites up, right? It was just a brochureware. We took whatever content we had in a brochure or a magazine and we popped it up on the internet. Well, that was a one-way way of communicating to consumers, almost like a billboard. So we just put it up there, they looked at it. There was no ability for interaction. No way could they participate in what we were telling them or comment, etc. So then we went from the brochureware to maybe like a database-driven website where they can go in and search and say, show me hotels in this location, or show me hotels with an indoor pool, etc. So we evolved a little bit more there. And then we went into two-way communication where we started giving consumers the ability to sign up for an email list where we could send them emails. We could start some push technology where you could be at your office or at your home computer and we'd send you an email about a special or an event that we were having in our, whether at our attraction, hotel, etc. People clicked on it. So it really evolved into kind of a two-way communication, and we begin to get the consumer to participate in the conversation and engage. And then probably around 2000, 2002 or so, we started the birth of the citizen journalist as the forums began to grow and blogs began to grow and to expand, and people had the ability to go in and read something and comment on it and start to engage in the conversation. And then that kind of led the way to where we're at now, which we call it really the social media revolution, where we're distributing content extremely quickly. Everybody's distributing content, whether it's you as a user, it's a consumer, whoever it is. Everybody has the ability to participate in the conversation and generate content. So that's really what social media is the opportunity for everyone to engage in the conversation. Well, there's two definitions of social media. We want to just go through these briefly. One, we talk about Web 2.0. Web 2.0, when used in the context analysis of a promotion of a web technology, refers to perceived second generation of web-based communication. But here is the key here, which aim to facilitate collaboration and sharing between users. So the key with Web 2.0 is we want to create a forum where we communicate to you and you have the ability to communicate back to us. So that's really where this whole Web 2.0 idea came from. And then as we started to build Web 2.0 technologies, all of a sudden the interaction started to grow, and we really evolved into what we call now and term now as social media. So social media is the interaction and the manner in which information is presented, and it depends on perspectives and shared meaning among communities as people share their stories and experiences. So it's really user-generated content where you're sharing your ideas, your experiences, and your commentary. And commentary is so important. That's what people are looking for today. They're looking for commentary and opinions when they go to websites. So when you look at social media, before we kind of get into the true social media picture, we like to look at and get a snapshot of what the traveler thinks. And on your jump drive, you'll have two things. One is the State of the American Traveler Report, which I'll talk about briefly now, which is a 3- or 4-page report on the state of travel and a little bit about the use of technology. And we'll also have a social media how-to guide. So everything we talk about here today, and even more, you'll have step-by-step instructions of how to do it and some helpful hints. And they'll be on the social media how-to guide. I think it's about a 45-page document, and that'll be in the flash drive. You can take that home. You can go through it. It's a great resource to have. So with that, we want to say, we look at the traveler and we say, okay, well, what is happening in the industry? So we all know times have gotten rough in the last few months. And this was done in January of 2009 by a company called Destination Analysts. They're a research company that specifically focuses on travel and tourism. They're out of San Francisco. And they looked at consumers and they said the average consumer has taken 4.7 trips in the past year, with 49% of those generating overnight stays. The unfortunate part was that was up to about 6.3 trips about a year and a half ago. So it's declining very quickly. 41.3% have selected a hotel to stay online, and we all know this. We're in this industry. We know people go to select their hotels online. This is kind of an interesting one. 17.6% have used a 3D mapping service such as Google Maps, and we're going to talk a little bit more about those as we go through the presentation, or Google Earth, to find a location. 13.4% have used a mobile or PDA device. And this is another thing that's happening now as people are using their mobile phones much more frequently. And Tom and I had this conversation. We see this happening now more as Europeans, and this being kind of a destination where you have more Europeans come to the Orlando area, is people are going to their phones or looking for travel information. So it's some of the things you want to think about as you're evolving through your website. And 29% have taken a laptop on a leisure trip. So this is one of those things where we say, okay, this is primarily a leisure destination. We have the information, and we think the consumer knows everything when they get here. And when they're coming here, they're also searching on their laptops and they're looking for information. And this just gives you an idea of what consumers are doing. About 30% use some form of user-generated content to plan their last trip. About a third used a print resource, and other sources of social media websites, became a fan of a destination on a site like Facebook, photo sharing websites, etc. And we'll talk about those in a little bit as we go through here.